Do you know the real reason why most people stay trapped in the cycle of working hard yet never feeling financially free? The secret isn't earning more, it's learning how to make your money work for you. Before we dive into this life-changing story, make sure to subscribe for more powerful stories that inspire you to take control of your money, your life, and your future. There was once a young man named David, 28 years old, working tirelessly at a corporate job in New York City. Like millions of others, David was taught from childhood that the road to success was simple: study hard, get a good job, and save money. For years, he followed this advice religiously, waking up at 6 a.m., commuting 2 hours, and working long shifts as a financial analyst. He earned a decent salary, $80,000 a year, but despite all the hard work, David always felt trapped. His bills consumed most of his paycheck, and every month he found himself waiting eagerly for the next one to survive. He couldn't help but wonder, is this what financial success looks like? One evening, exhausted from another 12-hour workday, David met his old college professor, Mr. Reynolds, a man in his 60s who had retired early and lived a life full of freedom, traveling the world, playing golf, and enjoying time with family. Over coffee, David asked the question that had been burning inside him for years. "Sir, how did you do it? How did you retire early and live like this without worrying about money?" Mr. Reynolds smiled and said, "David, the key to financial freedom isn't working harder for money. It's making money work for you. Most people only have earned income. They work for every dollar, and when they stop working, the income stops. But the wealthy, they convert their earned income into passive income and portfolio income. That's how they buy freedom." David listened carefully as Mr. Reynolds explained the three types of income: earned, passive, and portfolio. Earned income was what David had, money from a job. Passive income was money that kept flowing with little effort, like rental income or royalties. Portfolio income was money from investments, like dividends, stocks, and capital gains. The wealthy, said Mr. Reynolds, use their job income not to buy liabilities like expensive cars or gadgets but to buy assets that generate more income. That's the secret. That night, David went home with his mind spinning. He realized he had been stuck in the same cycle as everyone else, working, earning, spending, and saving a little, but never creating income streams beyond his job. Determined to change his future, David began his journey toward financial freedom. The first step was education. He devoured books on money, investing, and wealth building. He learned about real estate, dividend stocks, and online businesses. Every evening after work, instead of watching TV, David spent 2 hours learning financial literacy. The second step was discipline. David analyzed his expenses and cut out unnecessary spending. No more impulsive shopping, no expensive takeouts every day, no upgrading to the latest gadgets. He followed a simple rule: live below your means so you can invest the difference. By the end of the first year, David had saved $20,000. The third step was investment. With the help of mentors and financial advisors, David invested his savings into a small rental property that generated $500 a month in passive income. It wasn't much, but it was a start. For the first time, David earned money while he slept. That feeling changed his mindset forever. Over the next few years, David repeated this process. Every bonus, every raise, every bit of extra money went into assets, real estate, dividend-paying stocks, and eventually, an online business that sold digital products worldwide. Slowly but surely, his passive and portfolio income grew. At first, it covered his utility bills. Then it paid for his groceries. Then his rent. By the age of 35, David had built enough passive income to cover all his living expenses. He no longer relied on his job to survive. That was the moment of financial freedom, when your money works for you, and you can choose whether or not to work. David decided to leave his corporate job and focus full-time on growing his investments and business. Within 5 more years, he was earning 3 times his old salary, without trading his time for money. He traveled to Europe, started a foundation to help underprivileged kids learn financial literacy, and most importantly, had the freedom to live life on his own terms. Looking back, David realized the critical shift had been learning to convert earned income into passive and portfolio income. Most people stay stuck because they rely only on one source of income, their job. They spend everything they earn or save a little but never invest in assets that generate more income. David's story spread among his friends and colleagues. Some were inspired and followed his path. Others said it was too risky or too hard and continued the same routine of working endlessly without building wealth. But David knew the truth. Financial freedom requires courage, discipline, and the willingness to learn and take action. It doesn't happen overnight, but it's possible for anyone who decides to break free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle. The formula was simple: earn, save, invest, reinvest, grow. One day, David shared his journey at a seminar. He looked at the audience and said, "I'm not special. I had no rich parents, no lucky breaks. I just changed how I used my income. Your salary pays the bills, but your investments buy your freedom. Stop only working for money. Start making money work for you." The room was silent, but David knew he had planted the seed in many minds that day. Because financial freedom isn't about luck, it's about choice, knowledge, and consistent action. And just like David, anyone can achieve it if they follow the path of converting earned income into passive income and portfolio income. If David's story inspired you, it's time to take control of your financial future. Don't just work for money, make money work for you. Start learning, start saving, start investing. Your journey to financial freedom begins today. Subscribe now for more powerful stories and practical tips that will change the way you think about money and life forever.